So you want to know the best technique for burping a baby? I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to the Baby BFF, and I'm Dr. Candice. And today you're going to learn 4 things about burping a baby. Number 1, why do we need to burp babies in the first place? Number 2, how to avoid a colicky baby. Number 3, what not to do when burping your baby. Number 4, the best burping technique. And I also have a bonus tip for you if you stay till the end. So let's go ahead and get started. So number 1, why do we need to burp babies in the first place? Well, when they eat, they are going to swallow a lot of air that can really start to bother and upset their tummies. And that's when you have what we like to call a colicky baby. So if you've ever heard moms or parents talk about colic and they say, oh my goodness, my baby cried all the time, that's what they're talking about. So, number 2, how to avoid a colicky baby. Well, the best way to avoid a colicky baby is frequent burping. And so that begs the question, well, how often do I have to burp my baby? Well, the answer really depends on you and your baby. And as you get to know your newborn, you will soon find out, is this a baby that needs to be burped very frequently, or can my baby maybe burp just halfway through the feed and then also needs to burp at the end of the feed? You will get to know your baby and they will give you cues to tell you what to do. So, number 3, what not to do when burping. Okay, so this is definitely what not to do. Do you remember your mom and grandma's old style of burping over your shoulder right here? Why is this not the way to burp a baby? Because this is definitely not the most effective way to be able to help them remove that gas from their stomach. And this is a surefire way to make sure that you are wearing spit up on your shirt all day long. And nobody wants that. So, 4, finally, the best burping technique. What is it? I'm going to show you. So, let me show you the supplies that you need. Nothing fancy. Really, I always just make sure that I have a plain washcloth and I put that onto my baby's chest before I start burping, okay? So, I am going to show you how to hold the baby properly so that you can perform this technique and make sure that your baby is staying safe. So, as you can see, I have my baby here on my lap position with baby's booty here onto my leg. I am supporting the back of the head. So that's something to think about with a newborn baby. They cannot support their head on their own. So you are always going to have to make sure that you are supporting the head and you are staying in control of the baby at all times. Also, please take a look here and you can see that I have baby sitting upright. The more upright that I can have the baby during this burping position, the better, because it's going to make it easier for me to be able to switch back and forth between my 2 hands to be able to expel the gas for my baby. Okay? Now, we're going to use our washcloth here because remember, we don't want spit up all over us, but just know that spitting up is okay when babies are burping. Babies spit up when they feed, babies spit up when they burp. It's only a concern when you are having excessive spit ups, okay? So if your baby spits up while they're burping, do not be surprised, all right? So the next important thing to know is how to control baby's head from the front before we start this burping technique, okay? So I want you all to go like this. Feel on yourself. You feel that jawbone that you have? That is essentially where you are going to put support for the baby's face while you're using your other hand to burp. Now, I also want you to feel right here. You feel you have all that soft tissue there? Okay, you do not want to hold like this. We're trying to burp our baby. We're not trying to choke our baby, okay? There's a difference. So please make sure that when you are doing this hold on the front, that you're just using your hands gently to support your baby's chin, okay? And the baby's face. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. All right, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to support my baby's face. Again, I have the rag here, and I'm going to scoop my baby and I'm going to lean my baby forward, okay? So When I have baby in this position, I can go ahead and start tapping. Parents always ask, how hard can I burp my baby? Well, the answer is you don't want to, do these taps too hard, but really babies are much less fragile than you actually think. So just a nice little firm pat will help to move that air out. But my favorite technique, and this is the one that burps every single time, is to take a flat palm, start at the bottom of your baby and kind of stroke upwards on the back, and it will work every single time. Now, if you are still having a hard time getting your baby to burp, even using the stroking technique, what I like to do is if I've stroked a few times, then I'll lean my baby back and talk to my baby. Oh my goodness, you're so cute, aren't you? Well, you have to burp because we have to get the gas out because it's going to hurt your tummy. Okay, let's try it again. And then I'll move my baby forward. Go ahead and burp again. Go ahead and try that upward motion. And I guarantee you, with this kind of back and forth motion, a little bit of patience, your baby will burp. So finally, as a bonus, I want to talk a little bit about burping breastfeeding babies, okay? So a lot of people for some reason think, oh, well, if I'm breastfeeding, I don't need to burp my baby, but that is far from the truth. So you have to remember when babies breathe, they actually are breathing through their nose. If you see a baby that's feeding on a bottle, they're going to be sucking, they stop, they take in a breath through their nose, they swallow, and they breathe. So it's normal for them to stop sucking because they need to be able to take breaths in and swallow and breathe. So remember, where is that gas going? When they're swallowing, it's going into their tummies. Same thing when they're breastfeeding. They still are utilizing that same mechanism of suck, breathe, stop, swallow, breathe, and that gas is still able to build up within their stomachs. So that is why it is important to still burp a breastfeeding baby. So some moms will burp more frequently, others will just burp the baby, in between switching breasts. So that's entirely up to you. For those of you that are bottle feeding, just know that there are some babies that need to be burped as often as every 10 milliliters. And other babies that you can just burp at the end of the feed, other babies that you can burp, kind of halfway through the feed and then again at the end. So it really is solely dependent on your individual baby and if you notice that they're having gas and having discomfort. So I hope that this video helped you. Please go ahead and subscribe for more from the Baby BFF. I'm Dr. Candice, and we'll see you next time.